So I was supposed to do this video like week one of this horrible channel ever being birthed into existence. And I never got around of it because I had a way that I wanted to do it and then I just never followed up on it, which I regret not doing. But oh well. We're gonna do it my old style. We're gonna do it my style. So we're gonna do it that way. So today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite anime. One that I actually keep up with, so you know I really like it a lot if I actually keep up with it because I'm so busy. I barely able to keep up with anime so frequently. Like even this season, I only kept up with like Food Wars and this anime, and that was pretty much the ones that I frequently kept up with. Now, again, even though I like tons of other anime as well. Well, to be also fair too, I moved to Japan in the middle of the anime season, so it was really hard to pick up everything. But I digress. So today we're going to talk about Black Clover and why it's actually so good. Now, much like one of my favorite animes, I actually ended up not liking Black Clover from the very beginning. I was actually against Black Clover, especially when other people were talking about it, because the way people portrayed it, Black Clover was just not an anime that I really wanted to watch or I would really much enjoy. But my friend persisted that I would give it a try because I need to get an opinion that is based on myself than the other people. And I gave it a try, and the rest is history. I thoroughly enjoy Black Clover. I feel like anime people are divided into two generations. You're of the old generation and of the new generation. The old generation is basically the old veterans who watched Bleach, Naruto, the big three of the early 2000s. Then you have the new generation, which watch stuff like, and I do consider Hunter x Hunter part of this new generation for several reasons, but Hunter x Hunter, Fairy Tail, these types of like really like new shonen anime that like are like the kids of the old shonens. And as far as being a new generation anime watcher, this Black Clover is an amazing shonen in my opinion. But there are many reasons why I can see why people don't like Black Clover as much as other shonens and really talk bad about Black Clover. And we're going to talk about all of this in the video today. So with that being said, let's get into Black Clover and why is it so good. So what is Black Clover about? Black Clover focuses on two kids at the age of 15, Asta and Yuno. They have no parents, or at the recording of this video, their parents are unknown to us, but they were dropped off at an orphanage at a very young age when they were babies. And basically, both of them aspire to be the Wizard King, which is basically the king of the wizards. Now, in certain cases, the Wizard King has more power than the actual royal family, but just know that the Wizard King is basically the strongest wizard. He's stronger than all the captains. He's the strongest magic knight that they have in their kingdom. He is the Wizard King. And both of them aspire to be the Wizard King for several reasons. Well, basically for the same reason. They both want to make their hometown better because their home is written with poverty and poor. And also it's written in a world in which magic is everything. Which again is one of the things that I really liked about Black Clover in the very beginning, that it really establishes the theme that magic is everything and how that's going to be the driving force within the whole series of Black Clover as a whole. But we'll get more into that later. Now, one of our main characters, Asta, has no magical abilities. He was born without magical power. And Yuno was actually born and blessed with a lot of magical power, which he didn't realize until he was influenced by Asta to become a stronger mage than he was now. Now, at the age of 15, you are allowed to get your grimoire, which basically, and then you can enroll in the Magical Knight exam, which basically means you're one step closer to becoming the Wizard King, because the way you do it, you get into the Royal Magical Guard, you become a captain, and then you get a bunch of status, and then you will end up becoming the Wizard King. It's a really long, arduous process that Asta and Yuno are willing to take because they really want to make their home, better. In Asta's case, he just wants to really just, get the Lily, and marry her for all the days of his life. But with that being said, that's basically the super premise of Black Clover. Like I said, what I really like about Black Clover is probably the stuff that not many people really end up liking going into it. And I'll just say this right now. If you compare Black Clover to any other shonen, it falls short. In order to really enjoy and appreciate Black Clover for what it is, you have to not look at it in comparison to other shonen, because everything is pretty much has been copied of everything. So there's really nothing super original to an extent. I'll get to that in a bit. And so if you really just are really judging Black Clover based on the fact that it's a copy of all the other shonen, it will always fall short, because frankly other shonens have been there first, and other shonens just do their work just a tad bit better. So when you watch Black Clover, you can't compare it to any other shonen. That's just a mistake. That's not going to have you enjoy Black Clover to the fullest extent possible. But I come to find out a lot of things about Black Clover that that people don't like that are really good. Like, for example, the whole thing of magic is everything. It was a lot of issues long time ago. We're like in 2020 now, and where the whole magic is everything was kind of a run, beat, and stick. But I thought it was very effective because the story is making it clear that magic is everything, and it's really just setting up this whole hierarchy of the rich and the poor. When I was in animation school, I'm studying animation. My teacher was a very key proponent of making your story clear, and I feel that Black Clover should not have been assaulted for doing something that what normal shows does is make their premise clear. By saying the premise that magic is everything, it is pretty much making its plot, its story, and devices clear about how this world works and operates. So I thought it was really smart on Black Clover, even the animation, to really try to really drill that in the fact that magic is everything, and that this world is determined by magic in the level that you have. Even now in the new arcs of Black Clover, you see this theme percolating more within the world of Black Clover. So I really thought that was a good thing. Copying other things from other shonens, I don't really understand why that's a bad thing. I think that's an amazing thing. Like, Black Clover reminds me a lot of Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail is like one of my top 10 favorite animes of all time. I absolutely love Fairy Tail, and I love the Guild of Fairy Tail because the Guild of Fairy Tail was just a bunch of ragtail, rebellious teenagers who basically just did what the heck that they wanted with no rules. And Black Clover is like some small spoilers if there are any. Asa gets into a guild called the Black Bulls, which is basically the worst and the most rambunctious and the most misfitted group of magical knights that you would ever want to meet, and Yami binded them all together, which again is an amazing thing that Yami did. But that's another video if I even make another video of this anime. And what's good about this group is that they all remind me of Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail was just a bunch of misfitted mages all together with one purpose in mind: to be a family. And what's funny that those group of misfits were actually some of the strongest, baddest mages that you could ever meet within a single guild. They were one of the smallest guilds that you could ever meet in their own kingdom, but they were all like insanely powerful. Imagine like in Dragon Ball Z, and you had the Saiyans, and you know how like 3 Saiyans could equal like half the people of Earth Warriors. That's definitely what Fairy Tail and Black Clover, the magicians really are. So I really think it's really an honor to copy such good things that worked in other shows and actually adapt it into another medium, such as Black Clover. It's not like it's losing its originality, but it's showing respect to the other shonens by literally saying, this works, so I'm going to put it in my work. Thank you very much, type of thing. But again, I just really loved how everyone just reminds me of Fairy Tail and Black Clover, because again, one thing that attracted me about characters like Natsu and Urza and Lucy, well, even Lucy too, or Gajil or Alexis, is that they were just reckless. Like, they were ruthless. They destroyed everything. Like, they just didn't care. Like, but they cared about their family equally, and they cared about their companions more than the blood that they shedded on themselves. So again, all good things. And finally, so this video doesn't go on very too long, I do want to talk about the rivalry between Asta and Yuno, which is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long period of time, because a lot of people compared the rivalry between Asta and Yuno to Naruto and Sasuke, and I just really find that that is just not true. From the very beginning of my knowledge of watching Naruto, Sasuke just hated Naruto. Like, there is just hate within this. It's like, I have a purpose, you're in my way, please leave me alone. It's like Naruto was just rivalrying himself because Sasuke is just like, you suck. Go. Why are you here? Why? I got your girl. I got the power. Just go. Type of thing. Where in the Black Clover, the relationship, I really like the rivalry between Asa and Yuno, and it's actually very original because these two rivals are against each other, but they're also with each other. So in the same weird way, they're helping each other become stronger while making sure the other one doesn't get a leg up on them, which is a really weird and hard and convoluted, really style of rivalry to take. But if you dot your I's and cross your T's, it is so effective, and it really shows the love that Yuno and Asta have for one another. I think what is also unique about the rivalry between Yuno and Asta is that Yuno was very meek and timid when in the earlier years of Black Clover, but because of Asta and his bravery, it affected Yuno in such a way in which he wants to become the Wizard King. So in a way, this is why I like Asta, because Asta is that character in which, like, it's good to have a character that rubs off upon other people, and definitely Asta does that to a perfect T, where in the sense of his virtues, his wanting to connect with family, all of these really cliche things rub off on other people, and you can't help but to love him at the end of the day. And Yuno feels the same way, as seeing Asta's selfless actions to protect his basically like brother, his childhood friend, pushes Yuno to greater heights to become the Wizard King. And the only reason why he is so like what you could say against Asta is because he knew Asta would get his grimoire. He knew Asta would not go far behind. So he's not going to help his rival get ahead of him. He's going to still keep him in check while also being sure that he is safe as well. So I really do love like their dynamic, because it's this weird, we're still cool, but we're still rivals. So we'll help each other when it's necessary, but at the end of the day, one of us, there can only be one Witch King, and that's going to be me. And I really do like that. And again, but it's hard. It's hard to do that because rivalries, again, it's like you're not helping them at all. You're not friends. You got a goal in mind and you need to stop it. But in this case, it really shows that there can be such a thing as friendly rivalry. And while Yuno does seem cold at heart, it's really just a front, especially because he knows how the potential of Asa more than anybody else, because he's grew up with Asa all his life. So with that being said, he's going to be more colder to Asta because he knows Asta can do it. Even though no one else would think so, he knows Asta very well. So again, I really do like enjoy that. And that's another thing too, where it's like Yuno's personality is nowhere near like Sasuke. Sasuke was just a jerk, and he was just a jerk for like absolutely no reason. I mean, yeah, his whole family got, I know his brother killed his family and stuff like that. I get that, but I mean, he was just really cold. Well, Yuno's just cold because he just has a plan in mind, and no one's gonna stop him of his plan. All in all, I think Black Clover is an absolutely amazing series, one of the best shonens that we have had. That's come out in recent times, and I'm talking about like like when it came out, like 2017. It was and considering that 2017 was actually a horrible year for anime, the worst year of the decade, which actually I'll make a video about that, why it was so bad. But with that being said, I really think Black Clover is an amazing anime, and if you haven't checked it out, you can definitely check it out. I'll send you a link to where you can actually watch it. Hopefully it works in other countries. It just will never work in Japan. So with that being said, yeah, that is my video. If you like Black Clover, make sure you give love to Black Clover and watch it and keep up with it, because it's getting really good right now. With that being said, I thank you for listening to this video, and I'll see you in the next one of whatever I make. Peace.